Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Author Doc B. She's in the building. And guess what? We have a special treat for you tonight. I'm here with my hosts. Introduce yourself, co-host.
Azam, Azim in the building.
Triple A at that. Triple A is here. And you want to let them know what Bring It to the Table is all about.
Yes, absolutely, family. Once again, we are in the building. Click like, say, share, subscribe. We are in the building once again. We're bringing to the table the podcast that addresses all social justices, issues in our community, and the freedom that's needed for proper healing. Once again, you want to understand that the podcast is a spinoff from the offspring of Dr. Felicia's book, The 3 C's, right? So how I survived crack cancer and COVID-19. Let's not forget her memoir, The Self-Help Tool, which is a 30-day regimen to help you become healthy, because health is wealth. Recently acknowledged in Amazon for the best-selling self-help book. We want to remind you that this book is for the everyday people that's overcoming, conquering, and surviving all types of addiction and traumas that are living beyond their dreams. And as she mentioned, we got a special one tonight. We got the members from Millati Islami coming on. We're going to talk to them about their journey, why they got it started, why they keep it going, because this is another place where we come to get healing from the traumas of addiction, all types of things. You name it, this is where it happens at. Again, we are streaming live, Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, Indeed, and YouTube. Listen, we thank y'all for coming out. Let's have fun. Put the questions in the chat. No question goes unanswered. We'll do to the best of our ability to answer it nice and adequately. And I turn it back over to host Author Doc B in the building.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. Peace and blessings be upon everyone. We thank you so much for joining. I see the chat already blowing up. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Aisha. Aisha M is on. Alicia H is on. Hey, Kwawi, brother Kwawi, which is one of our guests from our city, Brick City, Newark, New Jersey, is in the building. Can't wait to see him. Can't wait to see him. So without further ado, we are having a podcast tonight. Our conversation is going to be around reviving the human spirit. It is from the Millati Islami, some members and some guest speakers who have been invited. So we get a chance to talk to them before showtime on July 12th, 13th, and 14th, 2024 in Baltimore, Maryland. You don't want to miss it. Let me tell you. Hi, Sister Kalila. Thank you so much, Amina. I see you all joining. We really do appreciate you. Do me a favor and click like and then share. Share the link that you all got on with others, Muslims and non-Muslims. We all need to recover from something. So without further ado, let's bring the lady on first. We have a lady among us. We're going to bring her on first. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
How you doing, sis?
In the building. Alhamdulillah.
Yes, she is.
I'm so honored to be in your company, to be on this podcast tonight for such a good reason. We all know it's reviving the human spirit. I don't know if you just want me to go on and just explain how I got here.
Nope, we got a series of questions lined up, but I wanted to bring you on first, and I'm going to bring everyone on after you, and then we'll start the questioning, and the questions will be directly asked to the individual.
Okay, I'm grateful.
Let's bring Kwawi on from Brick City, because that's our spot right there.
Brick City in the building.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Kwawi,
I'm honored. I'm actually honored and thrilled to be on this format. I heard about these podcasts. I've never ever been on one of these things, but I wanted to get a little tutorial in before I start, because I don't know what I'm doing. So if I mess up, don't pay me no mind.
You doing
Well, that's
good
why I
already.
like going live. It doesn't matter. This is my own private platform. And although I make it public to everyone else, the beauty of podcasting is we can be ourselves and we can mess up. We can mess it up. And guess what? And if I want to, I can go back and fix it up. It doesn't even matter. I just like the authentic things that go on in the transformation, that in the transparency, all this stuff go on on Bring It to the Table. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Imam. Oh, I know I'll mess his name up. Oh, I can't say his name. Say it, Anissa.
Which one?
Imam Talibin Dean.
Yeah,
Talabuddin.
He's going to tell me because I don't want to say it again.
Talabuddin.
Talabuddin.
I'm not going to get it, sir. I'm sorry. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show.
You got it. You already got it, sis. You got it. I appreciate you for letting me come through and be with you.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your willingness to participate. And then we're going to bring on New York City. We know who that is. Oh, yeah, we know who that is. Come on. Assalamu alaikum. Unmute yourself, brother.
Fine.
Unmute yourself. My name is Lukman Yunus. My man right there. Lukman, let me see if I can unmute you. Let me see. There you go. Uh-oh, it went back again. I'm going to try it again. There you go.
I was trying to unmute it. For some strange reason, my computer acting up. Assalamu alaikum.
Mine's acting up too. That's okay. We can, if they can act up at the same time. No problem. Thank you so much. Let me just say hi to the audience. Halima, thank you so much. Amina, thank you so much. We got Kalila on here. We got Khadijah Little on here. We got Brother Tahid on here. Sister Alicia on. Aisha Miller's on here. We got people from Africa on here. They come every single Thursday. We appreciate your love and your support and your appreciation. I do see you, Canada, Nancy. I see you all here. And thank you so much for every week you're just here. So please click like and share. And this is an interactive session tonight. So please don't be afraid to ask questions so that you can get your answers. Share this with non-Muslims. We want people to become Muslim, but only Allah softens the heart. And he does that, right? Am I right? Yes. So therefore, we're going to get started. Welcome everyone to the panel. Thank you all for accepting the commitment to come on. And we really do appreciate it. Tell him a little bit more. I'm gonna turn it to the co-host so he can tell him a little bit more, so I can get invite some more people. But go ahead, tell him a little bit more about what we do.
So again, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, may Allah be pleased with us. Again, this platform is primarily here for those who have probably had some type of trauma in their life, you know, and they survived it, and now they living a better life, right? You know, and it could be anything from substance abuse, mental health, poverty, anything that they were stricken with that, and even for those that were probably on the dunya, and now they're on the Siratul Mustaqim, you know. So we welcome everybody here, and then those are not the only people we welcome here. We welcome people that might be entrepreneurs, so they can share their experience with us and let us know that, you know, you can make it in life despite the oppression that we still go through as a people, you know. But when we come here, we want the authenticity, you know, be yourself, you know, be lively as you want, you know. Ask Allah to guide your tongue, your heart, you know, and bring the joy that we already have here. Just add to the joy that we have here and bring it to the table. You know, I'm thankful to be a part of it, you know, and this is an opportunity for us to get our message out as well. You know what I'm saying? Again, you know, anything we share with anybody else, you know, those inshallah, those are blessings for us, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, thank you so much for saying that, Shaquan. And so the first question is for everyone, and that question is why? Why did you make a decision to participate in the Reviving the Human Spirits Convention of Millati Islami, July 12th, 13th, and 14th, 2024 in Baltimore, Maryland? Kwame, I know you said you might have to go a little earlier, so you can answer that. Hi, grandson Jamik. Everybody's on. Oh my God, the chat is popping. Please put questions in the chat for our audience. Thank you. Kwawe.
All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ulu billah min shaitan rajim. just a little bit about myself. First, I'd like to say, thanks, sweetie. I see you made it on the call, Khadija. That's my daughter you talking about, Khadija Little.
She's here.
So, but
She's
anyway,
here.
all right. So, a little bit about myself. I started this journey like in 1987, and I've been in recovery now 36 years. And as a result of being in recovery, I took up a career. I went back to school and got my master's degree in social work, and became an addiction specialist. And I'm retired now, 2018. So I've been working with people. To answer your question, why I chose to get on this podcast, because all of these years I've been doing Allah's will. This is part of my deen. No other reason but to please Allah.
I mean,
okay, that's why I do this, to make it real simple. And even after I retire, I told people, I used to tell my colleagues, I said, listen, I just happen to get paid for doing this, but my real payment come in the hereafter, So I'm real in touch with that. I'm real cognizant of why I do this thing. I'm over here in Newark. So I came in the other fellowship first, NAAA, that sort of thing. And it kept me clean. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the disease of addiction. Somewhere in my process, in my journey, I was introduced to Zaid's program, Millati Islami, and it was like a breath of fresh air. I need to say that it was like a breath of fresh air, because although I was very familiar with the 12 and 12 traditions and 12 traditions and steps of the program, the spiritual part was missing. And when I first met, and Jawad, Brother Jawad is the one that introduced me to this. I think that was back in 19 something another. I'm not a great historian, so don't. So, but anyway, somewhere maybe around 90, 95 or something, I was introduced to Millati Islami over there in Harlem. So I was immediately attracted to that. And ever since then, I was connected to the fellowship of Millati Islami. But when I retired, I moved over here to Newark, New Jersey. And it's a trick to that. Newark, New Jersey was my people, places, and things. This is where I ran at. I ran so hard, they ran me up out of here.
Me too.
So they ran me up out of here. But when I got clean, and I made sure I was clean for a little while before I came back. So I felt this compulsion to give back to Newark. Because Newark was wild when I was out there, but it was wilder when I got back to Newark. So I said, well, and then I was concerned with addiction in the masjid. Is Muslims sick and suffering in the masjid? And I thought it was my responsibility to let people know. Oh, brother, I don't use no more. But using ain't the only thing. This disease go much deeper than that. And we need a program. And we need a platform. And the first thing that came to my mind was Millati Islami. I said, well, let me start a program over here. So I'm over here at Al Haq now. Make the fast forward here. I'm over here at Al Haq. That's the first masjid that opened its doors. And so we've been over here over a year now. we celebrated a year last August. So actually, we're coming up on year 2, I guess, in August. So inshallah, and so we've been doing great work, and to me, it's the epitome of dawah.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much.
That's what this program is about, dawah, reaching out to those who are still sick and suffering.
Well,
so,
they do have a dawah committee. They have a dawah committee, so I totally agree with you with that.
Absolutely. So that's one of my next steps. That's one of my next steps. I want to get to. Well, in the other fellowship, we used to do H&I, hospitals and institutions.
Yes.
So I want to get with Jawad and get back into some of the institutions.
Okay.
But first of all, I want to continue the work that we're doing in the masjid. So we got a masjid over in Al Haq, and we have one opening up, inshallah. And many of you may know Masjid Muhammad on South Orange Avenue.
South Orange Avenue, yeah. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate your answering the questions. There's a couple of questions that are in the chat, and we're gonna. You can go anytime you want, Kwawi.
Okay.
If you need to go, you can go. I would like you to stay, but if you have to go, you can. Thank you so much. Okay, great.
Right.
The part that you're playing in the Reviving the Spirit convention is you're coming as a member, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wonderful. That's good to hear from the members. And the imam, we have one imam on. I believe he's on the panel to speak. There's questions in the chat, and one of the questions says, how does Islamic morals and ethics fuse into recovery? Islamic morals and ethics, and anyone can answer that question. Lukman, would you like to answer that question, or Anissa?
But Lukman can go. I'll let Lukman go.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum
assalam.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I thank you for having me on this podcast. And let me say it like this. Part of my story is that I started using because I was this really nice, good Muslim. And then I wound up in prison because of guns. And when I came out, after all them years, I came out still having all this great Islamic knowledge. But after about 6 months, all this time caught up with me and my morals dropped, which means, truthfully, any girl that came down, the only thing I turned down was my collar. If you understand what I'm saying. And somebody told me that, hey, if you smoke crack, if you smoke, now listen, you got to hear this because I didn't know this. They told me that if you smoke crack, or actually when I started, it wasn't crack, it was freebasing. They said if you freebase it, that will cure your drive. What they didn't tell me was for people who suffer from the disease of psoriasis, which means if I was a woman, they would call me like a nymphomaniac. I have it under control, but I'm saying that it made it worse. So you couple that with my earlier liking of cocaine when I was a teenager, to that, it made it worse. It made my moral fiber just fall apart.
Okay.
And I went
thank
into
you so
drugs
much.
because I had to revive my moral fiber.
Okay.
Say what?
That was
okay,
nice.
I had to revive my moral fiber.
Great answer.
Now, the truth of the matter is, you have to hear this because this is a fantastic story. People think
I'm
this is a
listening.
joke, but this is mine.
I'm listening.
I didn't come through a 12-step modality. I didn't go through no drug treatment program. I was one of them guys like, there's a brother that makes a joke about it. I was like this guy carrying this cart. You know, I worked in part-time in construction, and I would carry this cart, and I would steal all the pipes. And I went to this building and found the Quran as I'm tearing this building apart. I'm telling you the truth now. This is weird, but this is how law works.
I believe you. I believe you. I believe you.
I just opened it up. I just opened it. Excuse me. I just opened it up, and what happened was I came to Surah 10 ayat 57.
Mm.
And in Surah 10, I'll just read the English translation because it started to be all this other. It says, "O mankind, verily it has come to you an instruction from your Lord and a healing for what is in your breast, and a guidance and a mercy for the believers." And I sat down and thought about that. And we talking about, I had made like $14,000 in 10 days and spent it all. And that hit me that, hey, what am I doing?
Sure.
And it hit me, why am I doing this? It dawned on me that somewhere in my travels, I stopped being a believer. I believed in Allah, but I didn't believe Allah. So once that ayat came to me, and I'm telling you, I've read this thing like several hundred times, because I've been a Muslim, a Sunni Muslim since 1973. So I've read this, even in my addiction, I read the Quran during Ramadan. This was my relaxation. Before I fall asleep, I read the Quran and didn't fall out. When I read this, it dawned on me that my moral fiber was gone. But here go what you have to understand. In Islam, what I was doing was worse than smoking crack. That might sound funny, but it's the truth. Fornication and adultery, and I wasn't adultery, alhamdulillah. Fornication is worse than smoking crack as far as the level of sins. And that scared me because I didn't want to die in that state.
Okay.
When Allah woke me up. So I do what I do in reviving the human spirit and I'll be honest with you, I don't attend other fellowships. So my focus is on Muslims because my heart isn't that big for the whole of humanity yet. I just keep focus on Muslims.
Okay, well, thank you.
I just tell them the story, and in that, Allah's book works. If you believe.
Okay. Well, I know.
That's why I'm in reviving the human spirit. That's what happened for me.
That's a great, and I love your energy. Our energy is always matched and aligned. Azim, you got anything? Azam, you have anything for the?
At this time, I'm feeling each and every one of them as they share, and I could definitely identify, the questions in the chat is phenomenal, right? And they were talking about how do they fuse it, right? And what I do know, right, is that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says that anything that brings us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is halal, as long as it don't contradict it or anything like that, and I'm big, I do Millati Islam, I do NA, I do whatever, because what I'm thankful for, the qadr of Allah, I don't make no mistakes about it. It was no accident that I ended up, making meetings, or matter of fact, being in treatment. You get what I'm saying? And, Muslim in 1989 took my shahada and struggled for about 6 years. And then in 95, when, mashallah, I used to say I almost died, but I take that away because you can't almost die when Allah's mercy on you, right? But I know I was in treatment. And then when the aneurysm in my head ruptured, I know that day there, when I recited the Fatiha while I was going under anesthesia, I made a promise to Allah that I would never use drugs again. But I didn't know this thing was bigger than drugs. So a lot of what y'all shared, I can identify with. So when we talk about, fusing, and it's not to take nothing from anybody, because Allah says we are the Khalifa, right? We are the vicegerent of the planet Earth and are the best to evolve for mankind. So I'm thankful right now. I work inside the jail, you know what I'm saying? And I come amongst all types of people because, I can't just stay in NA. I just can't stay in the masjid. I can't just stay in my home because Allah says go out and admonish, and he said admonish everyone, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I try to do, and I'm thankful for all of y'all that's being here because I too was introduced to Millati Islam and I was in treatment then, and at that time then, it was just very new for me at that time. I had two sponsors. I had a NA sponsor and I had a Muslim sponsor, and I was all over the place, but now I found my space in all of it. So I want to thank you because you just reminded me of some of my journey of how I got to where I'm at right now. Thank you, sister. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Like, share, invite someone because this is phenomenal. It's going on. It's going down here. Bring it to the table once again. with the host, Dr. Doc B, and myself, Azzam, co-host. And I thank you. May Allah be pleased with us all.
Ameen.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, Imam. I've been waiting to ask this question. I really wanted to ask this question.
Go for it.
All right. So I'm not sure of what your story is and where you come from and things of that nature. So if you would bless our audience with telling us, a little bit about, your past life, where you came from, what it was like, anything you've overcome, conquered, or survived. And then it's a two-part question. The second part of the question would be, why did you decide to be on the panel? You're one of the leaders. You're going to speak at the convention, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I want to know. So I know the audience is probably blowing up like, they got all these imams coming into the drug convention. Like it's Muslims. Like what's going on? But they have no ideas. Muslims smoke crack too. And we Allah bring us.
Oh yes, we do.
Allah bring us home.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And He heals us too. So it's all yours. The floor is yours, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. اللهم إني أسألك هدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى إنك لا مع الصابرين. اللهم اجعل لي نورا اهدنا صراط المستقيم اهدنا صراط المستقيم اهدنا صراط المستقيم. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, and all those listening. May God's blessings, peace be upon you. My story is, first of all, my name is Al Prentice. My full name is Al Prentice Talibuddin McCutcheon. That's my story, because as you see me, I'm rocking. I just happen to be rocking this shirt today. My story starts with my folks who were in the Black Panther Party. My father's family is from Baltimore, is from B-More. So my folks is down there. So they might come through thick to the convention because my folks have dealt with, now they're non-Muslims, so they got a little
That's
rough.
Okay.
I'm trying to invite my folks. I'm trying to invite my folks there. My mother's folks from Philly, so we got the Philly Baltimore connection. And then my mother moved to Harlem when I was a baby, so I got the Philly Baltimore connection.
Come on.
Wow.
I come to this consciousness through the Black Panther Party for self-defense, and I still rock with them all day long. In terms of political action and political activity. Spiritually, I came into the Dean of Islam in 1999 when I took my Shahada at Masjid Sabor in Harlem under the leadership and working with the leadership of Imam, recently deceased Imam Umar Abdul Jalil, my teacher, mentor, and first teacher in Islam. And since then, I've been able to do some other things within Islam and continue to do my learnings. Full disclosure, I have not experienced the physical addiction of narcotics.
Okay.
My family has, and I will leave the names nameless. But my family in B-More, my family in Philly in the 80s, and we know what was going on in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was hard body. And so I was right there at Ground Central when there was things getting stolen out the house, when people were showing up, shootouts was happening. I was right there, then moving to Harlem. If you know Harlem, you know Bradhurst, you know Edgecombe, all them spots that was really hot as a baby in terms of the buildings and things like that, or in Bed-Stuy and things like that. So I came into physical Islam in 1999 through that, but I've always been around addiction. So full disclosure, and my craft today, my profession today is that of an educator. I've been a high school teacher for the past 26 years. I'm finishing my 26th year as a high school educator, social studies educator in the New York State Department of Education. That's been in East Harlem, that's been in the Bronx, that's currently in New Rochelle High School, that's where I work now. So my job, my profession is that of a student first, which is why I took the name of Talibuddin, student of the dean, because the teacher is the student first. So as I got into the dean, and you asked me the question, so I'm gonna try to keep it simple, sis, but you asked me some real deep things. So I got into the dean through that mechanism. I've seen addiction. I've been around addiction. I'm around students who are susceptible to addiction all day long, and we're seeing it now. They're leaving marijuana, they're making things all accessible, just tracking them into this addiction in a real easy way. So I see physical addictions all around me, my family life. in my community, in my professional life. But the spiritual addiction that I want to not just talk about, and then this goes to your second question: why am I coming down to Be More, to hang out and to build with the brothers and sisters? And more important, to learn. I may be a speaker, but I'm there to learn. Be clear, I'm there to learn from my elders who are there, not just elders in age, but elders in experience. So I'm there. I'm gonna have my pen and pad there, notes.
Yes.
But I'm coming down to talk about the spiritual disease of doubt, the disease that we most are susceptible to is doubt. So whereas I can't, and his full transparency, I can't relate to somebody who's done crack physically. Yes. I've seen it, been part of it, been in the same household as them, got the stuff stole from me because, man, I shouldn't have left them sneaks out, but whatever, it's going on now.
Come on now.
You know how it goes. But in terms, the thing about Islam is it's universal. What brought me to the deen of Islam is a universal understanding of knowledge of humanity. So one of the universal things that all humanity can relate to is doubt. All the spiritualities relate to and understand and speak to doubt. So what can I bring to the table with regards to reviving the spirit around doubt and overcoming doubt? I will not only try to attempt to speak to that, I will attempt to give some techniques in terms of overcoming. So we're going to have a little workshop. So it's not going to be me just talking. That's not how I even get down in my classroom. It's not just me talking at the kids. It's us talking with each other and learning from each other.
Nice.
So we're going to.
I love it.
And and max it out and spread it out a little bit. And we're going to stretch out for something. And I hope I'm not going to mess up anybody else's flow. But that's how I get down. It's about really, once again, talking with each other. And we can all relate to doubt. I may not be able to relate to crack, heroin, all the other stuff that's going on, the pills that's being popped today and things like that. But I can relate to doubt. We all can relate to doubt. And how doubt is that going to debilitate me or motivate me. I could be that person stuck in the street and a car comes and that fear, that doubt will debilitate me. And I'm stuck in the street and I get hit or I get tackled, something like that. Or it can motivate me. It can stimulate me and get me out of that situation. So not only are we going to talk about doubt in terms of the reason why I'm going to come down and talk about workshop around doubt, but now we're going to talk about workshop around thinking beyond my circumstance. So whatever my circumstance is, if I'm still in a situation that I'm in, whatever, in terms of narcotics, in terms of doubt, in terms of fear, in terms of job situation, in terms of family, in terms of a bad situation that I feel I can't see my way out of, we're going to talk about and think about the beautiful hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, when the Prophet ﷺ says, have the best, have the best opinion of Allah. And how do we have the best opinion of Allah? We got to call upon Allah through His best. So we got to find that mercy, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. We got to find the forgiveness, Al-Ghafar, Al-Ghafur. We got to find those openings, Al-Fatah. We got to find that Razak, those provisions that are around. But do I even see it? Am I so filled with doubt that I can't even see the provisions is right there? The bank is overflowing.
Hold on now. I'm sorry. Hold on.
You got me started, Sid. You started something. So we're going to try to get busy a little bit with that. Go ahead. My apologies.
We are in for a treat. You all heard it right here from Imam. Oh my God. You talking about reviving the spirit? I'm already shook. Like my spirit is on fire. Then you only talk for like 8 minutes. And I'm like, what am I going to get for him for? Oh, I can't wait.
He's good.
Yeah, I can't wait. That doubt. Man, he went ham, didn't he? Listen to what they saying in the audience. They saying what? They saying you
talk about it.
Better share it, Imam. That's our language. That's our language, Imam. When you lighten up the room, we say you better share it. That's what they saying in the audience. They saying share it, reviving the spirit for overcoming doubt. And they like this. Yes, the chat blowing up. Then they saying, I seek refuge with Allah from the whispers of the evil, withdrawing of the whisper. The chat is just going ham. I'm telling you now. And they saying, alhamdulillah, as you going, they just going and going and going. And they saying, you got Mo on there. Thank you, Mo. Thank you for joining. Alicia, I see you, sis. I see you. Azam, you up in there too. You giving Quran 590. Oh, ye who believe in intoxicants and gambling. Y'all went ham when he started talking. You lit the spirits up. The chat is just jumping.
Appreciate
Thank you, Raheem, for joining. I see you all. Thank you so much. I can't call everybody's name. Lionel, thank you so much. I think that's Kalila. Sorry about that. That was a whole deep breath I had to take. That was so good, brother. Thank you for embracing us with your presence and your I call it my little ideologies of what's getting ready to go down. But you said I'm from the hood too. Let me tell you, I was in the middle of it, and I done been. Y'all, did you hear him? Because I'm gonna give you a recap. You know that's how we do. You say he done been to Philly, and he done been down Baltimore and New York, and so that's that whole East Coast piece, right? And then he talked about when it was in the highlight. That's when real dope was out, because it ain't no real dope out there now.
Yeah.
It's all synthetic, man-made crap coming. They killing people and all this, that, and the third, you know. But thank you again. I really do appreciate that. We got more questions, so don't go away. We're halfway in. And there's questions that's in the chat. Hold on for your questions because it's like 5 or 10 of them. Azam, you want to go to the chat and get some questions? Anissa, did you want to say anything before we get to our questions, sister?
Let's see.
Yes.
I put in the chat, sister. Give me 1 second. Assalamu alaikum. When they asked about what is the Islamic view on intoxicants, that's why I put Quran in there. What Allah says about it, you know, not so much an Islamic view, right? But this is what Allah says. You get what I'm saying? So it's coming straight from Allah what He talks about when it comes to intoxicants and gambling, you know. And there's no other question other than they talked about the name. But what I wanted to share with the Imam, man, like what they say for individuals such as yourself, when you're not directly right, but you was indirectly in the company of that, they call you an ally of recovery. You get what I'm saying? And that's what, you know, may Allah be pleased with you. And that's what it is, because you don't have to initially have to have experience with using it, but Allah has blessed you to be able to help those who have used it, you know, because you have firsthand experience when it said that the disease of addiction is a family disease, right? That don't mean you have the disease, but you was directly affected by those who were using. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
you
he was.
Yes. And it probably stopped you from using. You know what I'm saying? You said, what the
I was going to ask him that later, but I was going to ask him. I was going to say, how did you escape, brother? You've been all these major cities.
You want to know a true story? On the true tip, we can get into this. And I'm gonna shut up after this. You know what kept me off the streets of using with my peoples and even family? Hip hop.
Oh yeah, I believe
I had to listen to that. I had to listen to that masterpiece on Friday and Saturday night. If that New York master mix was in the 80s, you understand what that is.
Here go a question back from Jory Kareem. He said, what do you see as the major difference in the Islamic approach in comparison to the traditional treatment approaches? You know,
hi, Imam. Thank you for joining us. Assalamu alaikum.
Like for you, Doc.
Yeah, I know. And so
he's a social worker, right?
Yeah, he is. Kwawe, he can answer that as well. But I want Anissa to go, and then we can get to the questions because I really want her to go.
All righty. Okay. As always, first and foremost, I have to always give all praise and honors to Allah, because without Him choosing me to become Muslim, I was a derelict. This is an honor to be here, to be able to introduce Millati Islami to the world. It's an honor to be able to let everyone know that we're going to have a conference after 20 years. We have been able to successfully put together a convention. My apology, a convention. Everything that everyone said has truth in it. Like we can talk about, our existence, because that's what we were doing when we were caught up, in an addiction, our fallen human condition. We just went to our lows, to the lowest part of human being. But what I want to talk about is what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. And Allah chose him to come to save the world, all of humanity. And what I love about Millati Islami is because that's what we do. We don't discriminate. We're here to help to save all of humanity, to let them know that there is a way out of whether it's active addiction, whether you're alcoholic, whether you have mental health challenges, whatever addiction you have. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the cure. And it's through Allah choosing the pioneers, choosing people from different communities to come together. We are sitting on this podcast, and all of us are different, come from different
Every last one of us. That's crazy.
one of us. But Allah had already pre-planned this. It was decreed. It was decreed for us all to be here to do what we were created to do, and that's to propagate, to tell the people that there's a cure for every disease, especially our fallen human condition. Now, Imam Drury asked the question. He said, what is the difference between traditional treatment and this Millati Islami, or the path to peace, our treatment, our religious treatment? You know, he said, what's the difference? The difference is, for me, is that from the beginning, when I was 11 years old and I stopped wanting to listen to God and I stopped wanting to listen to my parents, the first thing that went was my spiritual condition. That's the first thing that went. So once I detached myself from God, which I know today as Allah, I didn't have no chance. I didn't have no protection. It was like all the wolves that was out there to devour me at 11. I just gave in to them because I had lost my spiritual connection. So that's the difference. Allah has allowed for us to come into an organization, a program, a fellowship, and to begin to build up our spiritual condition first and reconnect ourselves to God. And then everything else falls into place. Then we can go and get the physical, the mental, the emotional treatments that we need. But first and foremost, we must submit to Allah, the creator of the heavens and earth and everything around it. We must submit to him first in order for anything to take place. Because it builds up our values. It builds up our morals. It builds up our principles. And without them, we cannot build a nation. And we can see each and every day, we're losing our children. And we know as Muslims, we know as believers, when one of us hurt, the whole ummah hurts, is affected. So I'm so grateful that the committee and the members of Millati Islami have gotten together and said, listen, we need to begin to go to the media. We need to go to the TVs. We need to let them know that we exist. We're here for anyone. We don't discriminate. But we need to propagate.
That's good, sister.
And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he didn't stay in one place. He moved about all around to let everyone know what Islam is. Not what they thought it was or what they wanted it to be, what it really truly was. And that's us coming together and building nations of people that have love, taqwa, God conscious, respect, and love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's
there it is, folks.
And that's
you heard it.
And Millati Islami. That's what I
heard it, folks.
When a person come in with one day clean, we love up on them. We don't care if they use it, we still love up on them. It's no discrimination. And certain things we just abide by the rules and the laws and you know the Sharia. We just follow laws. We don't follow our own nafs no more. We already know what that did. Nafs is our lowly desires. We already know what that did. All of us already experienced that. So this is what Millati Islami has done for me. It doesn't allow for me to do that because y'all always are a constant reminder.
That's right. Thank you, sister. Thank you. That was beautiful.
you.
It really was. I tried. You was like, you was getting it in. You was getting like the E-man for a minute. Like you was like going all the way in. I said, oh, I got to slow it down real quick.
I'm grateful.
But it was, I know you are, and you play an intricate role in Millati Islami. And for that, I'm truly grateful. I'm grateful for everything that you just shared with our audience. Anybody else want to add to Imam Shuri question before I put my 2 cents in?
Yeah, let me say something. Assalamu
alaikum.
I just want to speak to the difference between so-called traditional treatment methods. I've been in the field of addiction for many years. I've done long-term, short-term, methadone, outpatient programs, you know, different modalities. The closest method that I have to what we do now in Millati Islami is but got a senior moment, y'all. But it's allowing people to be where they're at, meet the client where they're at, not where we want them to be. Okay. Now I just want to brag about our program over in Newark, New Jersey for a minute. We have a little small group. It's about 12 members. We changed our name. We changed the name of our group to Purification of the Soul Group.
Nice.
Okay. I firmly believe and buy into the fact that this is an inside job. This is an inside job. There's no one cookie cutter fix all. It's individual. It's an individual job and it's an individual effort. What we're doing over there in Millati, in Newark, we're what do they say in the other fellowships is one of our traditions. We promote attract rather than
11 tradition. Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's what we're trying to establish. See, now there's not, to my knowledge, there's not a lot of open groups. There's a lot of Zoom groups, but I think the beauty of one addict helping another is paramount. Now, I hope I said that right. Is paramount. One addict helping another. Okay, and so that is the difference. In the so-called traditional methods of treatment, it's basically getting people paid, filling the beds. The motives
I'm gonna stop you right there, Kwanwi. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. I mean, you have a great perspective, and you were going somewhere, and I really like what you all are over there doing in Newark, New Jersey. But I feel I'm gonna just like leave it right there. You that was valuable what you said to the community today. Okay, I'll put my 2 cents in, and then we're gonna move forward towards our closing because we only have a few minutes left. That was a real good question, Imam Jury. Thank you so much. My 2 cents is that in treatment, the he called it normal, but there to me is it's different levels ranging from detoxification all the way to transitional living. So in the clinical treatment world, right? It typically involves what we call evidence-based practice and approaches. It's grounded in scientific research and medical principles. Okay, so that's what clinical treatment looks like, and it's different levels, and they use techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy, motivational interviewing, solution focused therapy approaches, and things like that. And they often include, now spirituality in the last 8 years has been added to the clinical treatment room. Okay. It's been added because they found out that you have all of these thousands and thousands and millions of addicts who are in these 12-step programs, such as the ones that was mentioned on here today, which we normally don't mention because we don't want to break their traditions at all. And they recently added that because they've realized, you know what, those people over there staying clean. So let's do some evidence-based practice. And what they decided to do now was do some research and do some, because you got to do research to prove something. And so it has been proved. And in the clinical world, it's multidisciplinary teams that are considered health professionals. And that's what the difference is with Millati Islami. So with Millati Islami is what Kwawi just explained. It's the therapeutic value of one addict helping another. In the clinical world, you have the addict and the professional, but of course you have the professional governing the addicts in the clinical setting. Okay. And so in Millati Islami, we have each other. Of course, we got people like Kwawi, myself, and my co-host Azzam, who works in the field as professionals. But when we come to 12-step program or treatment for our disease, we take that hat completely off. It is just not allowed because we're supposed to be equal participants of the religious standpoint of Millati Islami. And the message in Millati Islami is passed through Islam, period. That is the message. That's how you help one another, is through Hadith, Sunnah, and the teachings of everyone, everything out there, the Quran. That is our book. And the Millati Islami book was made from that book and a couple of other books. And it's a beautiful thing, but I just feel as if we're going somewhere with this. The convention is going to take us more places with this. So I hope that answered your questions. There's definitely professionals and
may I add a piece on this?
Okay, sure.
Assalamu alaikum. The difference between traditional practicing. Did I salam? Oh, here it goes. The difference between what we do at Millati Islami and what is done in traditional treatment is this. Traditional treatment is you follow a set of rules. You make treatment plans. You make things. You do these things. You have rules that people follow. The reason that people can go into these programs and get out of them so fast is because they know the rules. They know how to fake it, but they never work on themselves. In the therapeutic community, it's one person helping another, so they tell on each other to help each other get better. But how they do it is that everybody know the rule. So they play the game. They play the game. That's what happens in regular treatment. They play the game instead of working on themselves. In Millati Islami, what we do, first of all, let me correct something here. We are not addicts in Millati Islami. We don't mind if you come in as an addict. But if you're here for a while, you're no longer an addict. Please, words, Imam, I believe Imam Aretha Muhammad said, man means man, and words make people. If you're an addict, you will always be an addict because the definition is a person who suffers from a non-curable disease that can only be arrested for a time. The definition that we have for ourselves is we are recovering Muslims or something to that. So that once you change you change your self-image. When you get that in there, you're no longer that. Then you can move on.
Okay.
You become a better member of society.
Thank you so much.
Become this good Muslim. Assalamu alaikum.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I know we can get long-winded, so I gotta cut us off because we can get long-winded. That.
Thank you.
We're in our last few minutes.
I'm that.
I know, brother. I appreciate everybody. I do. And Kwame, you stayed all the time. You stayed the whole time. Thank you, brother Kwame. I appreciate you. Right. Somebody, Alicia says that spirituality is the foundation to such in 12 steps program, to success in 12-step programs like Doc Big. As she says, so I am trying to ask, is there any differences other than Millati Islami in religion and spirituality? There's a whole bunch, but we don't have time for that, Alicia. I'm so sorry. I will call you and we can continue to talk about that. I'd like to get to the closing remarks. People, thank you all for joining, and thank you. There's a lot. Oh my God. There's a lot of questions and stuff in the chat. When y'all want to go back on YouTube and look at it, you really can. But please get your tickets. Cash App Millati Islami, $40. That'll get you your ticket to the convention on July 12th, 13th, and 14th. And what's the center is it at, Anissa?
Excuse me, what did you say?
What's the location? What's the name of the location where it's going to be?
It's at the Best Western Plus Hotel in
Best
Baltimore.
Western. Okay, Best Western Hotel in Baltimore. It's $40 for registration. And how much for the banquet, Nissa?
$50 for the banquet. And if they want to stay each night, it's $129.99 a night.
You can stay the whole night.
If they want to stay the night, if they want to stay the weekend, each room is $129 a night.
Okay, for the room.
Yes, and they can get in contact with me. All of my information is on the flyer.
Okay.
So contact me, and I will make sure that I set everything up for them or assist them in the best way that I can.
Okay, last words. This is the last question. What are you expecting to get from the convention? What are you expecting to take away? What are you really going there for? What do you want to take? Like, what's going on? We know you're in recovery already. We know that Imam told us he'd been around and stuff. Well, he already told us what he getting. He said he's bringing his paper and he's going to be writing and everything. I'm going to do the same thing, Imam. Don't worry.
Me too.
I'm going to do the same thing.
Knowledge. I'm taking away back from it some knowledge, and also the unity and being able to meet other peoples, because we're going to have people coming from, maybe they may be coming from Saudi Arabia, maybe coming from
different
Africa,
countries.
different countries. So I would love to be in their company.
I'm looking forward to seeing everybody that we're on the meetings all the time together. But then we live, some people live Minnesota, some people live Canada, some people live, they live all over the place, but they all said they're coming. So I'm like, I can't wait to finally see them face to face. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. And I'm definitely want to see Shahid and hear what he has to say, because I know a little bit about his background, because he's definitely transparent. Anybody else? What are you looking for, Lukman?
Fellowship. I talk to these people all the time in the meetings. I would like to meet them. Like when I went to Philly, there was a whole bunch of us. We came back better connected because we finally got to meet face to face. Ain't that right, Anissa?
Yes.
Listen, Lukman funny. That's our brother right there.
I gotta blow y'all up. Is that right, Imam and Brother Cowie? We met, so we have a better understanding of each other.
That's awesome. Aisha wrote this in the chat, said Millati Islami helped me to become a Muslima with values to go back to my ummah here in Philly to overcome a lot of fear and grow in my life. That's beautiful, sweetie. Alhamdulillah, that's good stuff. There's so much stuff in there. Oh my goodness. What about you, Kwawi? What you gonna get? What you going there for? What you gonna get?
Well, listen, I always love to be around the believers. See, that's how I stay connected. I don't change the script. I've been doing this for years. Wherever the believers are and wherever the recovering people are, that's where I'm at. I heard a long time ago they used to tell us to stick with the winners.
Yeah,
that's what
that's right.
They said stick with the winners.
We all winning. Everybody winning.
Yeah. See, I'm wherever y'all go, I'm gonna be right with you.
Thank you so much. Azam, I don't know if you're coming because you're going to the world, right?
No, I got some other engagements I'm doing. I got a couple of speaking engagements in October, November, and in May. So that's in between.
So you're gonna skip this one out. You're gonna skip this one out. Okay. Well, there it is, folks. You heard it right here on Bring It to the Table tonight with your girl, Author Doc B, your host, and the co-host, Azzam. And I'm going to let Imam close us out with some final words for those that's suffering, anything that you trying to overcome, conquer, and survive. If you want to live beyond your dreams, I already know what he's going to say. You got to get with what? What you going to tell him?
You already know. So, and we all once again struggle with living beyond our dreams. So the goal first and foremost is to find that tranquility. In Surah Torah, ayah 28, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, reminds us that in the remembrance of him we will find rest. 13, ayah 28, in the remembrance of him we'll find rest. So when the heart is seeking rest from doubt, from fear, from all these addictions, from these dreams, from these vanities, from the things that are clouding our judgment, find and seek refuge in his word, and we will find that rest. So that's all I ask. I ask that for myself first and foremost, and I come down there, inshallah, to be inspired by you all, and to reflect and to write and to learn, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Great show. So Millati Islami and 4 other members are gonna come every month, the first Thursday night at 8 p.m. here live on all platforms. Just so you know, you are on Facebook, 3 different Facebook pages. You're also on Facebook TV. You are on Spotify. You are on my business page, Doc B's LLC page. You are on Twitter, YouTube. Oh my gosh. And they'll see us when they wake up overseas tomorrow. So please come back. Please come back. Please come back. Next week and the first week of June, we'll be back here with 4 additional people. Inshallah, we'll be able to get some people, some of the imams that are going to be speaking back on a panel. I think the show was amazing tonight. It was amazing. A great kickoff. It's fire, and we're ready to roll. So if you too want to heal from anything you have gone through, for me, it's crack addiction, cancer, and COVID. Almost died. Pulled the plug. I still live. Good night.
Allahu Akbar.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Look mine.
Yes. I don't know how to declare. I don't know how to do
buddy? You good? I'm gonna cut you off.
Since
don't worry.
Know me, you know I'm all right. How are you doing? You doing your thing, girl. I love it. You are doing your thing, and you know, no matter what, I'm always with you.
I love you, brother.
You know that. I got your back.